Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, good people? What's going on? Y'all know what time it is. We up in this piece again. Got to do what it do, but to bring you some talk on Wednesday. And y'all know it's Wind Down Wednesday, and it's been a good day thus far. So y'all know what time it is, and let's get ready. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. We about to talk about it because there's so much going on around the world that we just want to talk to you all about it. But in the meantime, between time, y'all see who I'm sitting here with. Y'all see my girl. What's going on? What's going on, Netta?
What's up, Sam?
Listen, you know it's that time of day. It's that time of day. Tell
I told you we can get a new one.
my brother always, and he don't want to be seen. Yeah, get out the way because we're gonna put you on here. He always want to be
You
seen.
seen Ron? You
He,
seen Ron?
yeah, he want to interrupt, but he don't want to be seen. Come on now, come on. So how's it going? What's going on with you, girl? What's going on?
Said I ain't making no noise trying to make $1 out of 25 cents. That's all.
Well,
That's it.
I
Yeah.
think if you make enough of them, 25 cents, you're gonna make $1.
Facts. Facts. I need
Point
four
blank.
of them.
Yeah, we need some more. So how your week been? How your week been?
My week been cool. My week been cool. No complaints at all. I keep blowing my nose and coughing a lot, but other than that, my week good. How yours been?
Good, good. The thing about it is at least you're around here to blow your nose and do a little bit of coughing. But this, once again, I say this weather is like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous how it goes, what happens, and I'm telling you, I don't know. And people say you don't get sick because of the change of the weather, or whatever the case may be, or you don't get sick because it's too cold, or whatever. You get well. Let me tell you this. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
I think we're all, something's going on with us right now. Who to say what it is, but definitely something is happening. So in the meantime, in between time, my week has been wonderful. It's been good. I have been enjoying life,
Great.
um, and just trying to relax and do some things. I was, in the midst of revamping and doing some things around my joint here, my place, and it's kind of like coming back. It's things are
Mm-hmm.
like getting back in order. So, which means I'm getting a little bit more stability back in my life because now my house ain't so chaotic anymore from
Facts.
from everything being all in the way. But my week has been good. Life
Good.
is good. God is good. It's all good. My
Facts.
family is doing well, and right now I really don't have no issues or nothing to be. We always worry about something, but I think the things that we worry about, we probably really don't need to worry about because don't
Yeah.
worry about nothing that you can't control.
Facts.
How about that? So
True.
let's get down to the nitty gritty. We always having, the thing about it is we always having conversations. We are always talking. And I tell people all the time, we talk and we have conversations and people give us ideas about the things that we should discuss and we should talk about. But one thing that I will say, we can talk about this briefly, but Brittany Griner is back on US soil.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that, she was held captive for some cannabis oil or whatever that was in a bottle or whatever the case may be. But I'm glad she's back. The other issue is, we give the crazy man back to Russia, but if that was your loved one, how would you feel? Would you
Give
want?
him back.
A lot of people
Give him back.
have this issue about, well, I don't think she should have gotten out. They shouldn't have traded him for her or whatever the case may be. But you know, at some point, the bad thing about it, we always give in to something. Good, bad, or ugly. We all have given in to something. So I guess some people feel like United States gave in to putting in arms whomever he is, some crazy person, giving them back to the same country that he caused havoc from over here to us. But I'm glad she's back.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can get the other guy back and things will be in order. So with that being said, good that she's back. Now,
Yeah.
Friends. We talked about Friends before, and I'm so glad that, if I'm not mistaken, that they have extradited some of the individuals, or one of the individuals that caused the death of the young lady over in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they did,
They
because
supposed to have the girl that
yeah,
was on the video fighting her. They
right.
supposed to extradite her.
Because my thing is this: with friends like that, you don't need no enemies. You don't need not one enemy, because if I'm gonna go out of the country with my so-called friends, you know, and this time of year, it's devastating to know that your child went out of town and now it's not coming back. They did because your so-called friends felt some kind of way, and now you did. But I think
Right.
that it was a man that was slinging her all around like that. Because he looked like one. It took the wig off, and the blonde wig, snatched the wig off, and it was like animated. You know, we don't do that as women, my personal opinion. But with friends like that, you don't need enemies. I'm not going nowhere with a bunch of women that's gonna be hating like that,
Right.
because
Right.
you should know how they feel in the first place. That's my take. So if they've been extradited back to Mexico, that's a beautiful thing. I'm happy, and with hopes that they will be punished for killing that baby. It's done. Let's hope that they're back over there.
I
Now,
don't know about they. I know
well,
about
I thought it
them.
was more than one.
It was a total of four of them, I think, that was involved in some way. But the girl that was fighting her, you called her a man, but that person that was fighting her is the one that's back over there at this point.
Got
Not
it.
all. They haven't filed charges on all the people involved yet. Now
Well,
that's not to say that they're not, but
right,
right now they haven't.
right. Well, I hope they do. I hope
Right.
and pray that they,
Facts.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
So, um, tis the season, and then I'm sure everybody has heard about the DJ boss that worked for Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Um, well, what's going on, Ryan Lay? I've been missing
Hey,
you, man.
right.
Been missing you. Thanks for tuning in. So I'm gonna need you to tune in, Ryan, in a little bit. I need your comments, because this might be pertaining to you, because although you have little kids, you have younger children, but at some point I'm gonna need to know the answer to the question that I'm gonna ask later. But here's the deal, people. The DJ that used to be on Ellen DeGeneres show killed himself.
Right.
Um, hey, what's going on, Tasha? What's happening? Thanks for
Hey,
tuning
Tosh.
in. So he killed himself, went to the hotel room and killed himself for whatever reason, and when stuff like that happens, it's always, people want to always say, check on your friends, make sure that they're doing okay, and, make sure that they're all right. You can be doing all of that. You can be checking on your friends. What's going on, Ashley?
Hey,
Um,
Ash.
we missed you too. Thanks for tuning in. You can check on your friends on a daily basis. Everything can happen on a daily basis, on a consistent basis. You can talk to them all the time. But at the end of the day, you don't know what is actually going on with them, because they
Right.
may not be truthful. They may not be honest. They may not be open to you. And I feel, from what his wife is saying, that he had a wonderful life. He was a great person. He was a great individual. He loved life. He walked in. It's almost like, yeah, I'm a brag on myself a little bit. It's like me, if I walk into a room, um, what's going on, Wanda?
Hey,
I'm
Wanda.
doing well, girl. How are you? And I'm gonna use me as an example. When I walk into a room, it's almost like, hey, what's going on, good people? I'm trying to bring life to the room. What's going on, AJ?
Hey, AJ.
So if he was that kind of person, and every time you saw him on Ellen DeGeneres, he was that kind of person. He was always happy. He had good music, and he did this and he did that. But at the end of the day, if I'm sitting up here every Wednesday and I'm looking at you all and I'm telling you all life is good, God is good, and my week has been phenomenal, and then the next thing something happens, or I decide to take my own, then at some point, where was I lying? And as a friend, could you see it? how would you know? And I'm gonna tell you, I done been through some stuff. I done been through some stuff that would have made me think I could go. I need to be crazy and cuckoo for cocoa puff. Let me say this: I am a little bit crazy, but I ain't that crazy.
Mm.
But how would you know if that took place? Hey, thank you, Wanda. Wanda said she loved her hair. She good. She working, working, working. That's it, girl. Aren't we all? We trying to make sure we maintain. But how can you tell if someone is in need or seek attention or wants help? Because if you are in a mindset of you want to kill yourself or you want to cause some bodily harm to yourself, how is it? What's going on, Shaba? Thanks for tuning
Shaba.
in. How will you know? I mean, because Boss was a bad DJ. If you look at what he did with Ellen DeGeneres, he was a bad boy. He kind of helped, push her a little bit, along the way. Um, how would you know if someone is in that was is feeling that way?
I don't think that you can know if they don't speak on it. I mean, I think like you said, there's been things that you may have went through yourself. But if you don't let us know or people know that you may be going through something, it's really hard to know. It's really hard to know because like you're talking about boss, y'all jittery people. Like you said, when you walk into a room, it's hey, hey, hey. So you really kind of uplifting the room, and then next thing you know, you don't killed yourself. Everybody, scratching their head like, where did this come from? She didn't show no clues. He didn't show no clues of being depressed or anything. So, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Wanda said, yes, Twitch the boss was a phenomenal man, and he did bring light to the room. She said she read about him having some mental issues. I never read that part. I never saw that part. Not saying it didn't happen. Um, but we as individuals know mental illness is definitely
Real.
real.
Yeah.
Um, there's nothing fake about mental illness, but I think we all, and I'm serious about this. I think we all have a small piece of some type of mental illness. You can say you can disagree with me or not, but I think we do. But the question is, how much does it impact our whole entire life? Because there are some mental illnesses that will just definitely take over your entire being. You
Right.
know, some people say, I heard someone talk to me. Even we can go back and look at that movie and it say, I see dead people. You know what I'm saying? It's like so mental illness is definitely real. It is
Hmm.
definitely real. We all have a testimony, and some of us not want to share what we've been through or gone through and what we're going through. My thing was I never wanted to be judged. Me either. I never wanted to be judged and never wanted to judge anybody. But at the end of the day, we all have some problems and some issues going on with us. The question is, how honest are you going to be and share those and share how you feel with those that love you and those that are close around you? Um, because there are patterns at the end of the day. There are patterns. There are
Hmm.
definitely patterns. But how do we as individuals pick up on those patterns? You know,
By closely paying attention, again, it's kind of hard to pay attention to, like, me and you, we good friends. And I see you, but I don't see you. You know what I'm saying? So if you was going through something and that you didn't tell me about, it kind of be hard for me to pick up on your energy because your energy is always upbeat. You know what I'm saying? And I know when you go home, you wind down Wednesday, wind down every day type situation. So it'll really be hard. It'll really be hard if you just don't speak on it. And
right,
like Wanda said, a lot of people don't want to be judged. A lot of people don't know how to share, their personal issues with others that they don't trust. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
it's hard to trust a lot of people. So you really feel like you all alone in certain instances, you know?
And that's me, and I say that a lot. Well, I don't say it a lot. It's hard for me, and it was hard, and it's hard, and it has been hard for me to trust people. I just
Right.
don't genuinely trust someone. Now, have I gotten better? Oh, absolutely. Um, because you got to start somewhere. So I got to start trusting them at the beginning. I got to, because if I walk in a situation and I don't trust them, then what is that saying? I mean, because I got to at least somewhere start trusting somebody, but it's hard for me to do that. I don't know when, if or in or with, if or when I'll ever overcome that, but I'm praying about it. So Wanda says, got me through, was writing and sharing what I went through. Absolutely. I think if you talk about it, you should hold it in. I think you should talk to somebody. It's one person that you trust. We all talk to God on a daily basis, or whomever. You talk to a chair. If you believe that chair is your God, then you talk to that chair. But
Whoa.
we all talk to somebody on a daily basis. But you at least got to share with someone, And like I said, we all have gone through. We just go through different things in different ways at different times. So this is not the season for a lot of people. And a lot of people get depressed around this time. But it's up to us as individuals to make sure that we try to help them stay upbeat, keep them going and keep them moving, even if it's nothing but the positive affirmations that are being sent on a daily or every other day or whatever. It's a text saying, hey, hang in there. I got you. I love you. We need to maintain that. We need to keep that. That's my recommendation to you all. But to Twitch the boss, and his 3 kids and wife and family, we are definitely praying for him, and we're praying for those that are going through and struggling this time of year, because everybody don't have it, So the thing about it is, what up, though? Shaba says, have you ever noticed the scar on my forehead? I served a traumatic accident at the age of 5, so maybe you can imagine what I went through as a child. A black, dark-skinned kid with a born-given African name. He been down the road, not just one time, a few times. And it started at a young age. And every time he looked in the mirror, guess what he saw? He just didn't see the man in the mirror. He saw the scar that was left on his forehead. And I can't imagine, because I never shared this either. So I can't imagine, Shaba, what you went through. I really can. And it's a shame that individuals and people do that to others. I went through, it wasn't traumatic, but I went through trying to survive or getting through to the next day or whatever the case may be, which is why I kept myself involved, because my mother was very strict. Couldn't go nowhere, couldn't do anything. Wanda says, writing completely purged her. I felt like I had nobody, but I shared with my pops, God rest his soul. Yes, hallelujah. That was my guy. What I done and how I felt. And yes, honey, I know my Deacon Shelton. Love my Deacon Shelton. He gave tough love, but you know what? He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. Lessons learned. And he said, somebody loves you besides God. And that's another thing. We have to make sure that we tell individuals we love them. We can't just tell them. We got to show them. What's going? There go my brother.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna call you when I get out of here. But there go my brother. I am so glad, because my prayers. We talking about prayer. My prayers had to go up for my brother, because my brother.
Our prayers.
Yes,
Honey.
honey. My brother
Definitely.
was nervous about his
His surgery.
surgery. And I'm so thankful and
That's
grateful God
right.
blessed him, and he back at home doing well. Listen, it's like,
Facts.
sometimes you just as nervous as they are, but you can't let them know it when they
Right.
going through it, because you don't want them to know that you just as nervous as them. But
Right.
I'm good. He good. He came out perfect. I mean, he not perfect, but he came out with just fine. So now we just got to move through the next step, which is physical therapy, and
Yeah.
making sure he don't go insane, which
Yeah.
means that I got to go see him and make sure he all right. So, I went through some stuff too when I was younger. And I was always cognizant, and I wasn't insecure, but I was yeah, brother, you got a long way to go. But I kept myself busy. Girls where I grew up at did not like me because I had pretty hair. I had some gorgeous, beautiful black curly long hair. And my mother always made sure that we were dressed well. So having to go through pretty much being picked on, or you can call it tortured or talked about, by other women, which were black women whom I thought was, you know, cool with me or friends or whatever, who lived around in the neighborhood. In all actuality, they weren't, which caused me to not gravitate, but go over to the people that didn't care what the color of my skin was, but was, come on in, come on in. I had all kind of nicknames back then too. So I gravitated to those that I didn't have to worry about being picked on. I had to worry about my hair being pulled. I didn't have to worry about all that stuff with them. But I had to stand up for myself and try to protect myself in order to survive. So I get it, Shaba. But I just don't. I didn't. My scars were in a different way. I didn't look in the mirror and see a scar on my forehead and was traumatized by it. My trauma came from being picked on by girls whom I thought was cool, I was okay with. So growing up in that atmosphere and grew up that way for years. I mean, I grew up like that until I actually went to college, graduated from high school. A long journey. I mean, we talking about a long since I can recall of walking home from the games, from the football games and the basketball games. I used to have to get rides by white people, my white friends, just to get home, because if I didn't, I knew what was going to happen. So it was a place for me called survival. So I went through that. So when you see me how I am now, it's sometimes I have no choice but to be that individual and to be that kind of person, because it's called survival. So I had to survive. I had to make it through. But you don't know what I've been through in the midst of all that
In
time.
that process,
When
right.
we're grown, we still go through stuff,
Right.
and whatever happened to me has not caused me to want to even
Mhm.
take my life or harm myself or cause any harm to myself or anybody. Wanda said she contemplated an attempted suicide. I felt horrible. I felt like I was nothing because I was unemployed for a long time. And Wanda, um, and everybody's scars are different. Absolutely. My thing is, I'm thankful and grateful that you are still here, and you didn't carry it out. It didn't, because God saw fit for you to be here for your child. Not
Facts.
just for your child, for your mother, because your dad is no longer here. So somebody got to help take care of Ma Shelton. Um, but at the end of the day, Shaba, you're right. You got to keep it moving. Um, thing is, and beauty, as I said it before, beauty is only in the eye of the beholder. You, but I, I feel like I'm the best looking thing that walked on earth, and I'm gonna continue to feel that way, and I'm gonna treat you accordingly. I don't try to mistreat people by any means, because you don't know what they're going through, and you don't know their scars, you don't know their trauma. So I get it, I understand, but mental illness is real. I pray for Boss and his family, even Ellen DeGeneres, because she felt like he was a part of her family.
Facts.
It's like if something happened to Netta, I'm gonna be there because she a part of my family, and definitely if something happened to my brother, I'm gonna be there because he my family, and I ain't quick to say folks are part of my family, because I don't do folks, I don't do people. Once I let you in, you better act accordingly. I'm just saying, better act accordingly. You roll around. I mean, MG, you just got to keep it real. And that's probably because of what I went through growing up, and it's probably because of what I went through as an adult. Um, because people that you think who they are, they really aren't who they are.
Mhm.
I mean, at the end of the day. They really aren't. Because I thought those girls was my friends. I thought they, because we all grew up together. We all lived in the same neighborhood. So, I thought they would, we was down for each other. But at the end of the day, no, because the little snide remarks that they used to make, you think you all that, and you think you got pretty hair, and you think you cute, and all that other stuff. So it's like the struggle is real. The struggle was real. So if I walk around with my head sticking high, there are several reasons why. Several reasons why. I wanted to say yes. Deacon Sheldon got on me, and he really got her through it. And she said, I love her mama and her baby. I'm glad to be there for them both. My baby is the best thing that could ever happen to me. I know that's right, honey, with herself. Exactly. And the Bible ain't for everybody. Bible ain't for everybody. Going to church ain't for everybody. But like I said, you can believe in what you want to believe in. That chair, if you want to. If that chair gonna holler back at you and say, this is what, blah, 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 then fine. I'm blue and green or orange or purple or whatever. Then you believe in what you want to believe in. Period. So with that being said, on another note, let's talk about children. Since we all pretty much got kids, I guess. So the question came up last week about kids. So the question was posed, at what point do you cut your children off? Now, it's just so crazy. I was talking about this today at work with people, but it was in a different manner, a different format, but it was still about kids. At what point do you cut your children off? I mean, financially, you cut them off. Coming to your house to stay, living with you, cut them off. At what point do you cut your children off? Or should you cut them off? Or will you ever be able to cut them off? Is there a reason that would cause you to cut your children off? If so, what is it? Okay, Netta don't have kids, but
I did raise a kid.
You raised a kid. Wanda said she would never. And she has her own reasons for doing that. So you raised a kid, but have you cut that kid off?
Absolutely.
You cut him off? You raised a kid. So you helped raise the child.
Facts.
And you done cut him off.
Well, when you say cut them off, when you say cut them off, what are we saying cut off? Like financially? Yes. But they can always ask for help if needed. But I'm saying, I feel like if you take care of them, then you enable them to be able to be an adult themselves, so to speak. So if I'm paying all the bills, if I'm doing this, you living with me, when you get out there, you're gonna be pulling your hair. You ain't gonna be able to make it. Then your mental issue gonna come in because mama kept you at home too long. To me,
Tasha said, I think it's most so to not enable them, but she still helps her kids if they need it. My thing is, here's the way I was raised, and here's the way I raised my child. There is not one time that I could not go back home if I needed to. There was not one time that my mother said, get out my house and don't come back. There's not one time that my mother said, that food in the refrigerator is mine, don't eat it. There is not one time that my mother said, don't run my water and take a shower. Not once. Not one time. And she had 10 kids. So at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying. I get what everybody's saying. When you enable them in which way? You enable them financially. You enable them with food. You enable them with shelter. You enable them with water. What is it? Shaba said families didn't start cutting their kids off until they became the subject to some kind of addiction. Wanda, everybody is different, different strokes for different folks. She's just saying. And you're right, Shaba, but I think it's more than the addiction. I think the era that I came up in, Wanda say she don't see enabling her child. But the era I came up in, didn't know. I didn't see parents cut their kids off. I mean, there was no such thing as cutting them off. There was no such thing as my child can't ask me for nothing. Or I'm not going to ever do anything for my. There was no such thing. I never knew
Well, I
anything.
don't think that type of cutoff, Sam.
Well, some people do. Like Shaba said, some people cut their children off because of the addictions that they have gravitated or let take over their bodies or minds and souls. Because I personally, and I can have family members, you can't come to my house if you have an addiction to drugs. Now I got to cut you off there. The reason why is because the stuff that I have in my house, I worked hard for it, and I don't need you trying to take it out, causing me to go get something else. When children do that, when your child do that, do you cut them off? Because watch Jungle Fever, Samuel Jackson, the character, very much addicted. But when you have kids, it's hard for you to cut your own child off regardless of what they're going through, because you want to see them get help. You hope and pray they get help. So if you cut them off, who do they have?
See, I'm not. Me personally, I'm not talking about that type of cutoff. Go ahead, read what she's saying.
She said, Wanda said, I'm changing the narrative. I will always be here for mine. I don't care what nobody say. Now, addictions is a horse of a different color. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, the cutoff is different.
Yeah, I don't think no parent will ever like just cut them off and send them out to the wolves and they can't never turn back. You can always go back home. You can always, if something go wrong or whatever, you can always come back home. You can always eat. We still have that type of relationship. When I say, I wouldn't necessarily even really use the word cut off, but I will say I need for you to show me what you've learned in my home. When I did have the little girl that I raised, I made her start paying certain bills. Like we got her a car, I made her pay the car note. I didn't take everything that she was getting and doing and pay for it myself, because I didn't understand how she would learn how to do it herself when it is time for her to go out here and get her own. Now she got her own business. She went to college, got her own business, doing wonderful. And I really like applaud myself for that. To where if I feel like if I did everything for her, it would have been a little bit of a struggle for her to get to where she got so easily today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Right. Tasha said she has an open door policy at her house with all her kids, so they can come to her for anything. She thinks it's important for kids to have a sense of independency, but if life gets hard for them, it's certain aspects that she can help them with, and I totally agree with that. Wanda says, I'm 100. I'm basically 50, and my mama is here for me on every level. Through the grace of God, I have never had to go back home. And what's up, Beverly? Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, Beverly.
My thing is, I get it. Here's what. See, because my daughter has been living with me, and I do feel like she needs to get out, but I'm not gonna force her. I'm not gonna push her out, but she need to get out. What I don't want her to do is go live with a man. Now, I don't want her to do that, so I don't want her to leave me and go live with a man. Now, is she moving out? Yes, we are in the process of getting all this stuff together. So in 2023, she'll be, because I do believe in children finding their own niche.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once again, like I said, I've gone through some stuff and I've been through some stuff, and with her being here, it has made me in the past, made me feel like, oh, I ain't by myself. I ain't alone. I ain't got to worry about it because, my daughter here, she give me that some sense of security, but not a complete sense of security. because she can only give me a portion of the security that I need from as a woman and the security I need from a man. But her being here has made me not be lonely, because when she was in school, I knew she was coming back, but there were times where it was like, dang, I'm in here, I ain't got nothing to do. I'm like, where am I going tonight? It's like, so there's sometimes where that sense of loneliness has come in, but I'm not going to ever cut her off. What if a really good man put her up in a place? This is my thing, Shaba. When you say a man put your child or your daughter is being put up in a place by a man and he is pretty much taking care of her, is that showing her sense of independency?
Right.
Now, that's fine and dandy if he want to do that, but at what point will this sense of independency come in? Now we're talking about that man can do for whatever he want to do for my child. He can do, that's his money. If he want to put it in her name, then I consider it hers. But I don't want her to be going nowhere and she living somewhere and he paying everything and it's in her name. Because guess what? Something happened and the guilt go bad. He gonna put her out and she gonna end up back at home. Now, will she be allowed to come back home, or will he be allowed to come back home to your house once they get put out? Will you accept them back, or are you gonna say, well, I didn't want you going to live with that man in the first place. I told you not to do that. I told you not to live with that woman. So when something happened, don't say I didn't tell you so. So can they come back? Will they be allowed to come back? Wanda says, I went through years of unemployment, not because I was lazy, but nobody would hire me, and come to find out the workforce is different in the 90s. And I was not sure how to go about getting a job. So I went back to school, got my degree, then employed for a minute now, and I will be going back to school in January to finish my bachelor's program. I have 36 more credits to go. Well, congratulations, girl. You got to do what you got to do to make it happen. And that's what we do. We women, we keep pushing. But I don't want, my thing is, I'm going to be like Latasha. My door would be open for my child. I don't care where I go. And I don't care who I'm with. I was talking to somebody the other day and they were talking about, don't come between their children in the marriage. It's somebody at work. She's married to a man. This is her second marriage, I think. And she said, don't come between her children. She said her husband, current husband, better not come between her kids. But at what point? Now you living, this is your husband, your children are grown.
Right.
You gonna let your kids ruin your marriage to somebody that you say you love? Come on now.
Right.
Make that make sense.
I have a sister that's in that situation, and I don't agree with that. The Bible say the man supposed is God, then your husband, God, then your wife. So, a lot of people like, no, it's my kids, my kids, my kids. They ain't babies. We talking about grown kids. My sister going through that, and I keep telling her, like, Jackie, your kids shouldn't have an opinion on your marriage. Period. Period. They don't like him, so they not gonna give you no good advice about your marriage. But different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Cause her grown son, and he the oldest grandchild. He my oldest nephew. He stay with his mom and her husband.
And he
I'm
don't
like,
like him. And he don't like him.
He don't like him to a certain extent, because he there. He get to hear all the arguments. He get to hear everything. This and that, and the third. He more of the respectful one. It's the other two of her kids. The one that's the doctor now. Clay kind of respectful too, but he have an opinion. And the daughter, oh,
Well, here's the deal. We all know, and this is what Shaba said: kids will always be welcome home, and they should. Grown kids just can't get too comfortable because they always cause, they causing a fuss about everything. My thing is, you as an individual, I don't know if he knew what he was getting into beforehand or not, but you're not gonna be in my house disrespecting me and my husband because you feel some kind of way about it. I'm sorry, that is not gonna happen.
Right,
I'm
right,
gonna need you to get out and get on your own. But I am not gonna close the door saying that you can't come back if something happens.
right.
At what
I
point am I
agree.
gonna cut them off? You might be, yes, you might not. I'm not gonna be with anybody that's gonna mistreat me in the first place. Let me say that. But
Right,
if I'm being mistreated in front of my children and my children are seeing it, then they have a reason not to like him, or they have a reason not to like her. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be to the point where they can't come back home. It's just it's called respect. Yes, it's very inappropriate. He's taking care of me. We're taking care of each other. Ain't no way you're going to be in my house with my husband and you don't like him and you trying to, now unless something else is going on that we all don't know about or you don't know about, Netta, then you ain't gonna be in my house. We
what the problem is that when we have a little argument, which our couple's gonna have an argument. We have a little argument, you run to your kids and talk to them, but they can't handle that. You they mom, they can't handle that. And so from there, it's not necessarily about him, starting stuff and being, the aggressor. It's about we having a situation, and then you go talk to your kids, find somebody else to talk to, because your kids gonna hold on to that when y'all back okay.
exactly. And Shaba says, hopefully that husband has a man cave to escape to, where the husband get a little salty after a while. Here's my thing: you can only escape so much.
Right.
You can only run away from it so many times. So at what point do you face it head on? But once again, you're not going to be in my house causing problems. And I'm not going to be the one as an adult, as the mother, going to you, telling you my issues and problems that I'm
Right.
having with a man that I loved and a man that I married. But if you're not living there, and if you are living there, my doors will still be open. I mean, I'm still gonna have an open door that you can come, but you just not gonna come in and be disrespectful in my house to my husband. It's just not going to happen. My daughter would not do that. Um, she wasn't raised that way. She wants to see me happy. She wants happiness for me. And I don't know what child wouldn't want happiness for their mom, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to go back home. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be able to go back home. I don't think any parent will ever cut their child off. Ever. Ever. Wanda says, I don't believe in taking issues to kids, grown or not. Exactly. You know, I
Facts.
I have a friend that's like that. And they talk to their child as though that's their best friend instead of their child. That ain't
I
happening.
don't understand that. I don't understand that. Maybe that could be next week's uh headliner. How do you be best friends with your child? Uh, so I had another little kid, right? She wanted, to be in a situation, calling me mom and all this other crap, right? But anyway, so she kept calling me her friend. So I had to explain to her, listen, boo, you call me mama. If I'm on a mama level, we won't never be friends like that anyway. But that friend stuff, you have to calm down on that, because that'll never be. You'll never be on my level. When you
Right.
get my age, I'll be 10 times older. When you get that age, I'll be 20 times old. You know what I'm saying? So you'll never be on my level. And a lot of kids these days get that so confused. I hear grown women calling their little baby my best friend. How? And I that's my mental gets going crazy when I hear that. Like, are you kidding me? No, quit doing that to these kids, because these kids feel like they on the same level. So when you want to discipline them, they fight you because you don't put them on your level. I'm your best friend. Now I'm about to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, no, you're not my best friend. You'll never be
Right.
my best friend.
And
And I
and
just wish people would understand that.
and that may be the problem in your friend or your cousin or whomever's life right now. They might have, and I
You
don't
talking about
know.
my sister?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she might have treated her kids as though they were her best friend instead of treating them like they were her children,
She did not. She did not growing up, but now I guess she may. I don't be in the picture that much, but now she may.
Well, and I mean, it doesn't matter how old you get or how young you are, your
Just
child,
always just be parent and child relationship.
your
Period.
child will be your child at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
right.
whether they're with you or not. Wanda says, my mama never did that. She let us be kids, and I'm not doing that to Brooke. Me and her
Right.
have a bond. You will always have a bond with your child, male or female. However,
However,
if
it's mommy and
mommy and
daughter,
daughter, not my homie,
not
I'm going
homie.
out with you. And I get that,
Facts.
you know, which means that, like you said, you would never be, that means Brooke would never be the type of individual or person or adult female grown woman that can't come back to her mommy's house. Um, but at the end of the day, you ain't gonna put her out either, you know. But you can't be her best friend either if you are trying to discipline her or if you're trying to show her what discipline is. Shaba says, I'm not hip to your co-host. What? Like I said, it's been a minute. Who that is? Shaba. Why you
Let
all
me
up
go
in
put on my ring. Let me go put on my ring. Happily married, Shaba.
Well, he ain't asking all them questions. He ain't say nothing about you being. He
I
said,
was just, I had to get it out there. I had to throw it out there.
We would have told him all that. Shaba, just look over her. She done joined and came in a few weeks ago. Yeah, you've been a minute. Her name is Netta. We call her Netta,
Netta.
Netta. So one of my friends, she already know I don't do new friends, and I had to go through that stage for a minute because I don't do people. It's hard for me to trust folks. But her name is Netta. So Shaba, welcome Netta to the Wind Down Wednesday. So getting back to the topic, at what point, or if any point, do you, throw your child to the curb or tell them they can't come back, or Shaba said, not
I
interested, just
think
asking the dang question. Y'all kill me with that. I know Shaba, don't they? They just come on out with that like you automatically trying to get your holla on. But let's just keep it 100. Wanda, oh, I thought it was spelled Nata. You've been drinking.
she thought I would spell what? I
Nata.
missed it.
That's her name right there, good people. That is her name. Check it out.
Janetta.
Janetta Dixon.
There you go.
MRS on the front of that. Now, Shaba, back to you, Shaba. Shaba says, nice to meet you.
You too, Shaba.
And it was like a K then. Here's my thing, Shaba. I know we was talking about the kids, but let's go to this topic since you brought it up, Shaba. Since you brought it up. If a man is not interested, then why does he always ask, are you married? Because men and women don't always wear rings on their finger. Conversations would happen. So can you answer that question? You talking about you ain't trying to get
Not
all
that
into that, you ain't interested in all of that. You just asking the question. Talking about we kill you with that. Then why is it that men? You mean sometimes it's the first, are you married? If it's not important, then why are you asking the question? Because if you had a conversation first, you might find out that that person is married. A lot of times, that question is not asked until after the fact. Wanda, I'm raising that eyebrow too with you, girl, because they have men always, they come up with these. I don't care nothing about all that. Oh, ain't it? But then at the end of the day, you want to know if they're married or not. That's all I'm saying. Why you ask the question, Shaba? Why it is what it is, but why you ask the question? It's like I had a conversation with somebody last night, right? Because we went to the basketball game. Me and my girl went to the bed. Me and Angel Green went to the basketball game. So we went to the Withrow game and it's just having a conversation. A lot of people, that I saw and, oh, you look fabulous, what you're doing these days. And, I always get that your skin look wonderful and da 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 da, and all this, that, and the other, right? So I walked past somebody, and these men be trying it, girl, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So I walked past somebody, and he was like, "You helped me," and I was like, "I helped you what?" He was like, "You helped me get through a situation and all this, that, and the other stuff." And he was like, "I remember you." He was like, "You law enforcement or whatever." I said, "Yeah, I was, but I'm retired now." And blah, blah. He was like, oh, "Okay, good." And then it's like, "You married? Why are you asking me? Can we just have a conversation about I helped you out of a situation, I gave you advice, and I thank you, thank you for giving me that advice. And then, next thing you got some beautiful skin, you ought to be a model." So it's like, how about you just say you should be a model? I think you got some beautiful skin and blah, 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 but not be telling some, are you married? Anybody can be married. They just don't wear their rings. They just don't wear their rings. Shaba say you need to. Hey, Shaba. Wanda might not be married. Wanda meet Shaba. Shaba meet Wanda. We'll hook you up. We'll hook you up. I'm just saying, we'll hook you up. She was like, and now here we go. Hey, Big Slim, you single or what? See what I'm saying? See Wanda coming on now. We might have that. I saw a few weeks ago at Cove. Who birthday party? Who Rucker? I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Not me, Shaba. And last time I was at Cove was my friend's birthday. No, yeah, my brother's birthday. I wasn't. I ain't been. You ain't see me at Cove because I don't. I do a few of them. I do a few places. I try not to go. But you ain't asked Wanda that question. Why you playing? Wanda said, "Hey, Big Slim, you single? Why you playing?" Now you need to answer Wanda's question, Shaba, because we about to get a match made in heaven up in here. It's always somebody for everybody. And no, you did not see me at no Code 51 no few weeks ago. Wanda talking smack. Wanda say, "I ain't scared." She ain't scared. Every once in a while, here's the thing, and I know right now, we talking that he said somebody birthday at Cole, it was you. You shine all day and night. Well, it depends on when it was. It was my brother's birthday if I was there, but that was back in October. That was the last time I was at Cove. Was that in October? No. I had a dude say that. Oh! Now you want to say you had a dude say that, Wanda? You ain't Shaba. Is he single? Whatever, Wanda. Whatever. Sure you is. Sure, but it's so there's somebody for everybody, and it just depends on who it is, and how you want to hook up with them, and when, where, and why. I do believe that somebody's for everybody. No, Adam asked for Eve. Okay, God made Eve out of a piece of rib from Adam's side. Now, Wanda, you ain't kidding for real. Shaba, Wanda want to know if you're single. Why she trying to play games on here? But Adam asked for a mate. So no man or woman should be on this earth by themselves. That's my take. Because Adam asked for a mate, God gave him a mate. So I don't think anybody should be on this earth by themselves. But people go through spirit spells or time frames or whatever you want to call it, where they are by themselves, but it's for different reasons. Period. So y'all can hook up and send each other inbox message, Google each other.
And we'll send y'all the bill.
Yep. She played footsies. Up, Shaba.
Now that's Shaba saying that.
Wanda. Shaba is talk. Y'all need to don't be trying to have sex in the chat room right now. Y'all trying to have. I'm done with these dudes. I'm going to Pluto. Don't go to Pluto. Shaba right here. This ain't internet dating. This is Tuck Radio dating. This is Wind Down Wednesday thing. This ain't internet. Let's make it plain. This ain't internet. This Wind Down Wednesday of radio dating. So get with the program, Shaba. Y'all can hit each other up in the inbox, send each other a messenger, and then y'all can go from there. I'm just saying. Let us know what we want invitation to the wedding. Wanda, ain't no men on Pluto. And don't be talking about, here's the thing. Here's another thing that I know. What bothers me is Lord Jesus.
I want you, Sandy.
No, not in your Marvin Gaye voice. No.
She said flatline.
I'm good, Shaba. But let me say this. What I don't like is women saying they don't need a man. Now, used to be a time I did say that because the stuff that I was doing, I do it by myself. I do it for myself. Wonder that ain't funny. And I used to do that because I felt like I had to survive by myself. I had to create the environment around me for myself and my daughter. So I used to say I don't need a man, and I don't like it now. That was years ago. That I don't like it now when women say that, because women need a man. Every woman needs a man, and every woman wants a man. Yeah, AJ, we trying to make hookups here. We trying to get people hooked up. We're trying to hook them up. I don't care. We don't care what. We're trying to hook them up. Every woman needs a man, and every man needs a woman. You can say what you want to say, and there's difference in the want and the need, but I think as men and women need men, and women want men. So stop walking around here talking about you don't need somebody. Oh, I need a man. And I want a man, most definitely, because I know God didn't put me on this earth to be by myself. How about that? And stay tuned on that one, because you just never know what's going on with the one and only. It's a man on Pluto. Oh, Lord, she's still trying to go get that man on Pluto. Yeah, he right here, and his name is Shaba. This is what we like to do.
His name is Shaba.
His name is Shaba. I know you good though. I don't be hounding. No, you don't. I know we good with each other, Shaba. We always good with each other. You gonna always be my peeps, my guy. You gonna always, and we gonna always clown with each other. People just don't know that kind of, because people can get it all twisted and messed up. Oh, he said he wanted. That's my cat right there. That's my guy. I always pick Black Women Magic at Uncle Johnny's. I know you do. You always have, and you always will. But like I said, Wanda wants and need a man, and he ain't on Pluto. I'm just telling you, he ain't on Pluto. So Shaba,
Talk radio.
Yeah, Mr. Shaba want you, girl. Now me and Mr. Shaba got a relationship that he's talked a lot of smack with me. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But I know he and I, honestly, it's like we might as well be related, because I be over his uncle's house all the time hanging out with them, and it's almost like we just become family. You know how you be around somebody so much and so long and so many times, it's almost you like family. So he don't want me, Wanda. We gonna hook him up with you, because we ain't trying to get you to go to Pluto to find your man. We trying to help you find your man right here.
Yeah, you got to be here for your baby girl.
Yeah, Brooke need a positive role model, and you can't get no more of a positive role model than Shaba. Trust me. He's a hardworking man, and he would know how to take care of you. And I know, because his family is, he comes from good stuff. So you might as well go on and
he said, nah, he don't want to be related.
Yeah, you and Mr. Shaba. See, look, we can talk, Wanda. But that's about it. I'm Rick James after midnight, though. I hope you ain't. Whatever that is, I hope you ain't. So at the end of the day, we like to talk smack. We like to joke around. But some people can't handle that. But people, we get to that point. We joked at the end, which is laughter is good for the soul. Bringing out joy is good for the soul. 'Tis the season. But don't wait to check on somebody. Don't wait to be nosy and get in their business. Get in their business. Ask them questions. See what's going on. Talk about it. We sit here and we talk about it and we laugh and we joke. But I am serious to a T. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Talk. Be nosy. See what's going on. If you don't talk to that person, and if you've been talking to them forever, every day, I think you might need to fix it. You might need to figure out what's going on with them. One to say, all right, cool. I like aliens after me. Lord Jesus, y'all ain't gonna work. You need to find out what's going on with them at the end of the day. If they quit calling you, something's wrong. They may not even want to tell you, and you may not even want to know, but you need to find out. Check in with your peoples. Don't wait. 'Tis the season for a lot of things to happen. Everybody got some type of trauma going on. So at the end of the day, y'all know what time it is. See, Wanda and Shaba, y'all need to inbox each other. He was like, come through, whoop you and your partner in spades and listen to the classic all day long, Wanda. That's a challenge. A challenge, Wanda. A challenge. Shaba done challenge you. So you better inbox him. And if y'all don't do nothing else, at least you can become friends. And he might be able to be a good role model to my Brooke. Because every woman needs a man and wants a man. I don't care how young she is. It's called an influence. How about that? So here we go. We at the end of the show. And we about to give you some positive vibes up in here. What you got for the people, Netta?
Don't trust everybody, but trust somebody, because depression is real, and we all need somebody. Like Sandy saying, every woman need a man. Everybody need a friend.
Not just a friend. You need a real friend. You need a
Right.
ride or die friend. You need one of those friends that's gonna be with you through thick and thin, no matter what.
Right.
Because I'm that kind. I'm gonna roll with you till I can't roll no more. Till you show me I can't roll with you.
Yeah,
She
but
said,
you ain't accepting no new friends, so you're
I'm not.
moving on.
But once you my friend, if you ain't holding it down and you show me something else, hey, it's a done deal. Hey, she said, nice meeting new people. Hey, I'm telling you, y'all can just become friends. Everybody needs a friend. I'm just saying. I don't do new friends, but there's nothing wrong with having a friend that you can count on, that you can depend on. That's very important. And in this holiday season, it's extremely important that you count on your friends, that you call on them in a time of need. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. If you need that friend for whatever reason, call them, and if they don't answer, call another one. Don't give up calling those that you know that will have your back. How about that? Because my friends, love them. Shaba, stay optimistic, y'all. Till next time, my good friend Sandy, new friend Janetta, and my new inbox Quiet Storm after midnight friend Wanda. What? We done made a hookup. Thank you, Shaba, for tuning in. Wanda, you all, but
Shaba off the chain. Shaba
yeah,
off the chain.
that's what I'm saying. This ain't nothing new with me and Shaba. It's just a ongoing thing with me and Shaba. So my thing is, if you can't reach that friend, call another friend, but keep calling until you get somebody, especially if you need help, especially if you're going through something. Please call somebody. But at the end of the day, positive in, positive out, And y'all know I truly believe this. It's always better to give than it is to receive. We love y'all. See you next week. Yes, Wanda, you be safe too and stay out of trouble. Inbox Shaba. We out of here.